Hello, here we start 3.3 polynomials and synthetic division. Okay, it will be a long division of polynomials. This will happen, for example, let's say you have f of x equals to x to the power of 4 minus 3x squared. In this type of functions, you can take out a common factor and you cancel. Let's say you have x cubed minus 3x squared plus 5x. Again, here we can solve this one by taking out a common factor. So you're going to use this new method, which is the division method. Once you feel that you cannot factorize it by any means, that means you cannot just do a simple factorization like taking out the common factor or what do you call it, or completing the square method. So if these methods are not working, you'll go to the method which is long division. Okay, so here let's say that you have this function f of x equals to 6x cubed minus 19x squared plus 16x minus 4. Here you cannot take out a common factor, you can't do grouping, so you have to do the long division. How can you start doing the long division? Take the constant term, then once you take the constant term, find its factors. What could be the factors for this negative 4? Either plus or minus 1, either plus or minus 4, or plus or minus 2. Because of this negative, I'm putting plus or minus. So one of these will be the right solution for this equation. So make it 6x cubed minus 19x squared plus 16x minus 4 equals to what? Equals to 0. So here plug in one of the factors of negative 4, and if it's going to be 0 equals to 0, then that's the right factor. So here let me just plug in, let's say, the number 1. So if I plug in 1, it will be 6 minus 19 plus 16 minus 4. Let's see if it equals to 0. This is different from 0, so try to choose another factor. Okay, let me choose 2. Okay, so it will be 6 times 8 minus 19 times 4 plus 16 times 2 minus 4, and this is supposed to be 0. So let me check with the calculator. Okay, good. So once I multiply, then add, here the sum equals to 0, 0. So the right factor is x equals to what? X equals to 2. So once you found that x equals to 2, bring it back. I'll tell you something now. Forget this question and let me make the idea brief. Let's say that you have x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals to 0. So one of the solutions is x equals to what? X equals to 2. So x equals to 2 is here a solution. But if you want it as a factor, it will be x minus 2. No, I'm sorry. X plus 2 is a factor, so the solution will be x minus 2. So once you find the solution, if you want to change it back to a factor, change the sign by bringing it back. And the other solution is x equals to negative 3. If you want it as a factor, you'll have it here x plus 3. So that's what I'm doing. Now if you have x squared plus 5x plus 6 if you divide it by x plus 2, if you divide this, what will be left? You'll find the other factor. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'll take the long function that was 6x cubed blah blah and divide it by the new factor to find another factor. Okay. So we got that x equals to 2. So bring it back, the factor will be x minus 2. I'll divide the function by x minus 2, which is so once you start dividing this function by this factor, take the first expression, which is 6x cubed, and divide it by x, like 6x cubed divided by x, only x take care of it, not x minus 2. So if you divide this, you'll be left with x squared. So it will be 6x squared. Now, like a normal long division, multiply the 6x squared by this x minus 2. So 6x squared times x will give you 6x cubed, and 6x squared times negative 2 will give you negative 12x squared. Telling you, like the long division here again, subtract. Once you subtract 6 minus 6, this will be 0. So negative 19 minus minus, please don't forget this negative sign, minus 19 minus minus 12 will be minus 7x squared. Now take down the plus 16x. Here divide negative 7x squared by x again. Negative 7x squared divided by x will give you negative 7x. Again the same thing, multiply negative 7x by x minus 2. Negative 7x times x, negative 7x squared. Negative 7x multiplied by negative 2 will give you a positive 14x. Again subtract. Okay, once you subtract here, negative 7 minus negative 7 will be 0, and 16 minus 14 will be 2x. And take down the negative 4 now. Again the same idea, 2x divided by x alone. 2x divided by x will give you positive 2. Multiply 2x times, 2 times x will give you 2x, and 2 multiplied by negative 2 will give you a negative 4. Subtract, this will be 0, and again here we'll have 0. So this is my other factor. Good. So now this is a factor, x minus 2 is a factor, and I have also another factor, which is 6x squared minus 7x plus 2. These two are factors, but this one can be further simplified. You can use this method where you have here 3x and let's say 2x. Here you have 2. I can put here negative 1 and negative 2. I put the negatives because I wanted here negative 7x. This will be negative 3x, and here negative 4x. When added, you'll have a negative 7x. So these are my other factors. So the factors for this function, are x minus 2, 3x minus 2, and 2x minus 1. So we have these three different factors. X what? 3x minus 2. Okay, so now from these three different factors I want you to find the zeros. So x minus 2 equals to 0, or 2x minus 1 equals to 0, or 3x minus 2 equals to 0. Here we'll have three different values for x. The first value will be x equals to 2, take it back, and here 2x equals to 1, where x will be half, and here 3x equals to 2, where x will be 2 over 3. So now here you have three different x-intercepts. These are my x-intercepts. Okay, now what's left? We can start sketching the graph. First, let's decide what type of graph it is. It's an odd graph. That's the leading coefficient here. It's odd, and it's positive or negative. Of course, it's positive. It have these three x-intercepts. It have negative 4 as a y-intercept. Our y-intercept is negative 4. So I can start sketching the graph. I'll sketch it on the other slide. Okay, at the first place I need to put my points. This is my y-intercept. The x-intercepts are, as I said, x equals to half, or 2, or 2 over 3. So let's say that the half is here and the 2 is here. Okay, let's try to go through the 2 over 3. 0.6. Let's say almost it's here. They're very near to each other, but I need to show that there is a difference between these 2 points. So what do you think, that our graph is starting this way and ending down because it's odd? Don't forget, or the opposites. Of course it's the opposite. It will increase at the end, and it will be beginning from somewhere here. So let's consider that it started this way. We'll come to here, but what would be the height here? I don't know. So to know that, you know how to find the maximum point here. This is 2 over 3, and this is half. No, it's the opposite. This is half and this is 2 over 3. Just add them and divide the answer by 2. Here I'm trying to find the maximum point. Says that it's almost 0.58. let's say it's here. Okay, 0.58. Plug in this number in the original function, which is so once you plug in this in the original question, find the local maximum. I'm doing that. It's almost 0.05, so it's a very small number here. You almost cannot show it. Let's say it's 0.1. Let's just try to show it. So then it will go down and touch the 2. Again here you need to know what's the local minimum. So to find that local minimum, follow the same step. So now what are the two numbers that I'm going to add and divide by 2? They're going to be 2/3 and 2, because it's between 2/3 and 2. Add them, then divide by 2. It's almost 1.3. So let's say it's 1.3. let's say it's almost here. Alright, and I'll put this 1.3 in the original question. I'll plug in and find the answer. Don't forget I have a -4 here, and find what's the local minimum. Okay, I found that it's -2.1 almost. So let's say that this is my -2.1. So I need to erase this to show negative. How come it's -2.1? Was there? Okay, I'll calculate it one more time. Yes, it's almost 2.1, almost here. Alright, so this would be my local minimum. Actually I drew it here because there were some stuffs written and I was confused, so try to always draw in on a neat paper, not a paper that's got lots of scratches like this. So should be our graph looks like that. So here you can see that it's positive, it's going up at the end. It's odd because the two tips are in opposite directions. You have these 3 x-intercepts. Here you got your y-intercept. This is our local minimum point. If you want to write it, it's 1.3 and -2.1, and here it's 0.58 and 0.1. These are our local minimum and maximum points, and that's the way to draw this type of functions. Okay, I'll give you a question. Try to sketch it by yourself, of course after doing the long division. Okay, try to sketch this graph by yourself. If you have any difficulty, please ask me. If you are looking for more exercises, also let me know.